lean into the power of multi-sport training. Don't just run. If you want to get better at running, leverage the power of multi-sport training. There are several reasons for this, why the principle just makes sense. But we observe consistently athletes having huge breakthroughs because they're bold enough, brave enough to actually leverage the power of multi-sport. In fact, this is an emerging trend at the elite side of sport. There are a high percentage of elite runners at the very thin edge of world-class performance of running that like to integrate multi-sport into their training. And it comes from various modalities. It might be stair climbers in the gym. It might be rowing ergometers. It might be leveraging bicycle riding. All of these are really valuable. Now, you see aqua jogging as well, but that tends to be more around athletes that can't do weight bearing because of injury. And you also see some elliptical, although I'd say that's a pretty low yield machine. The elliptical trainer isn't really high value for runners, I'm afraid to tell you. But why? Why is this such a useful tool? Well, let's go back to what is the required components to get ready for running. Number one, you've got to have cardiovascular conditioning. So as a coach, I want to get someone absolutely as fit as they can to drive it. I want their cardiovascular fitness to be beyond what they've ever had before. The challenge is, if you're just running with a load-bearing activity like running, where every time you put your foot down, you've got multiple times your body weight going into the ground, rebounding into the musculoskeletal system, the injury risk is high. And so we can integrate other sports. There's no rules. There's no rules on this. All I'm doing is training the pump and the associate plumbing that navigates and makes up the cardiovascular system in our body. And we can do that through various modalities. And so when you leverage other sports that are non-weight bearing or at least low weight bearing, it reduces the impact, the load. It allows you to build the cardiovascular conditioning and the muscular endurance without the repetitive pounding of running. And that is a performance advantage. It's not weakness, it's a performance advantage. So that's really good. It enhances your aerobic development as well. If you take modalities such as cycling or rowing, it's a great opportunity where more frequently you can leverage high intensity training, build the size of your engine. And the reason for that is if I send you to the track and ask you to do a series of very, very hard work, the muscular damage is huge. It takes longer to recover. But if I have you do a similar type of session in a rowing ergometer or on the bike trainer, you can hit it. And within a day or so, you're ready to go. And you're able to actually leverage really high quality running without that muscle fatigue. Quality of training goes up, you get to do more training over the course of the week, and you get to reduce injury risk. And so there's a huge opportunity to just do aerobic development in a safer and more sensible way. You also can develop the specific muscular resilience. Remember that mechanical fatigue that is the limiter on marathon training. You get to leverage these sports because a lot of them directly cross-pollinate into running. There is a link between them. They work similar muscle groups. Let's think about the stair climber. It's not that fun. You do it in the gym, but it mimics uphill running. It targets the quads, the front muscles, the glutes, the calves, the types of muscles that often fatigue in the back end of a marathon. So it's really, really good for late race fatigue resistance, a stair climber. Well, let's leverage it as a tool. Rowing, the whole posterior chain, a lot of core strength, total body coordination, which is a part of the athleticism of running. You've got to make sure that your rhythm, your posture is really good. Rowing can magnify that. And cycling, targeting your quads, front of the legs again, your hip flexors, coming right in here. It reinforces leg speed quite often. And that muscular resilience, particularly when you do the low cadence, high torque work, the purple patch special sauce that we talk about, in other words, strength endurance work, it tends to cross-pollinate to running. This is really good. So what you get out of this in a low-risk environment is greater total training volume. Now, it's not just about trying to hit more training volume. It's trying to hit more total volume that your body can absorb to, that you don't yield muscular damage to the extent you're going to get injured. And so you get total more effective training, and you're not increasing the risk. It's hugely valuable. Now, of course, it's even more valuable if you're a newcomer to running, if you're maybe a master's runner, or you're prone to injury risk. Really, really good. But I tell you, every single athlete that I've worked with that has completed a marathon and had a breakthrough has leveraged multi-sport running. I promise you, every single one of them. I've got hundreds of case studies for you. I'm going to give you a few real-world results right here. One of my favorites, Ignacio, a marathon running at the New York Marathon, 2 hours and 34 minutes, multi-sport training throughout. He ran most days pretty easy, a little bit of an extended cluster run occasionally, a flash of high intensity, but most of his work came through swimming, high intensity swimming, and bike, a lot of strength endurance stuff on the trainer, 2 hours and 34 minutes. He also did walk breaks, but we're coming to that later. Jordan, one of my favorite athletes, moving to his late 40s, back-to-back marathons 2 weeks apart, Boston and the Big Sur Marathon. In his late 40s, both of those events PRs. His Big Sur, which was the second one, was better performance than his Boston, leveraging multisport. Sarah Piampiano and Cecilia Davis-Hayes, two of the Purple Patch pros, first-time marathon attempts, both went 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's pretty fast for a first-time marathon. Both multi-sport athletes. Julie, 3 failed attempts to complete her marathon on a traditional running program. Fueled by Purple Patch Multisport, she broke the injury cycle. She's now completed 4 marathons, and she hasn't been injured since adopting the multisport approach. The last one of those marathons, a Boston qualifier. And how about Panos, 58 years of age, multisport. He just completed his fastest marathon in the last 20 years. At 58, faster than when he was 38. He's been doing it for a long time. The list goes on. And so leverage the power of multisport.